What's up, everybody? I am Johnny Christ, and this is Drinks with Johnny. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. And I've got a really awesome, kick-ass guest for this week's episode. But before we get to that, I just got to talk a little bit about Sweet Drop CBD oil. A lot of misinformation out there about CBD oil. You guys have heard me repeat this spiel for the last few weeks, but it's because I truly believe in this product. I'm going to start off with a little bit of Sweet Drop CBD oil or cannabis oil. I didn't know much about it before. These guys sent it out to me, and you just go to sweetdrop.com and they give you all the information. No fucking bullshit. They got some really rad flavors. I'm going to start my day off with it. And if you think you could benefit from the CBD oil, use Drinks with Johnny as a promo code. You'll receive 20% off your entire order. Pretty good deal. That's Drinks with Johnny, JOHNNY, as a promo code at sweetdrop.com. Now, let's just get into it. I've got a really kick-ass guest. I'm really excited. We have a lot of mutual friends and a lot of mutual interests, actually, that I'm learning about. Yet we have never properly crossed paths. So without further ado, the kick-ass lead singer of New Year's Day, Ash Costello. How you doing tonight?
Wow, can you just introduce me everywhere I go every day? I'm so pumped right now. Thank you.
You should be. This is going to be fun. I promise. I always promise a good time here at Drinks with Johnny. Before we get into the good times and the bad, we'll get through it all. But I got to ask, in these uncertain times, how's everyone doing in your camp, health-wise and safety-wise, I guess?
Oh, man. Do I start the show off with the biggest downer?
I mean, I like to get it out of the way. I think of it like a Band-Aid. You got to rip it off and go.
I've had a rough go at it. A rough go at it. I mean, same as you, as a touring musician, all my tours got canceled, and probably the tour I most looked forward to since starting a band when I was a teenager, I was finally going to get to open up for My Chemical Romance. Canceled. So that hurt. That one hurt. That one cut deep. So you think that's already bad, but my dad actually passed away this April he thought he had COVID, and
did he ever test for it, or he just
no, this was like at the start, like the very beginning of all this stuff. He started feeling sick and couldn't breathe, and he thought COVID.
Yeah.
But when he went into the doctors, they told him, no, you've got like terminal kidney cancer and lung cancer, and less than 2 weeks later he was gone.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
My mom just found out a couple girls at her work got COVID this weekend, so now she's going to go be tested. Hopefully her whole house doesn't have it now. Jeez, so I'm sorry to our friends and family.
Well, no, I'm sorry to you and everyone, friends and family. I mean, it's never, shit. I mean,
it's been a crazy, what a roller coaster, but I'm in really high spirits. Crazily enough, I feel probably the most amazing I've ever felt in my life.
Wow.
I feel so at peace. I actually feel so relaxed, all this downtime to reflect and reconnect with family and spend time with my dogs. I don't think I've been home longer than 2 weeks at one point, probably for 4 years.
Jesus. Yeah, you guys, we're going to get into all that, but you guys in New Year's Day, you guys hit it hard. I used to think we in Avenged Sevenfold hit it pretty hard, but you guys really.
No, everyone knows that you guys tore 364 days out of the year.
We used to. We don't do that as much anymore.
That's how that's how I'm gonna gauge my success as a band 2 ways. That I only have to tour one time a year, and that's enough, and it's fine, and all my bills are paid. And how much time I have to play Warhammer, because that's an expensive hobby and that's time consuming.
Okay, wait. Before you move forward, I will show my ignorance right off the top. The fuck is Warhammer?
What? Okay, look, you said we had a lot in common, but this one, I'd say hardly anyone ever knows. This is besides Dungeons and Dragons, I don't know how it's going to get any nerdier. This is a nerd level 100. Nice. It's the game where you paint the tiny characters.
Oh, okay. I have seen this. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw a reference to it on. I saw a reference to it on South Park recently, and then before that, I actually have a cousin that was Cousin Wes, if you're watching. Shout out to you. He was really into Dungeons and Dragons and this Warhammer stuff back a long time ago. He was painting on these little figurines. Not sure if they were the same. Sorry,
There's a lot of different
They're going to take
ones.
my nerd card. You could take my nerd card at the top, and we'll get into some nerdy shit
Just
later
one
that
whole
I'll
punch.
bring back.
You get one whole punch. That's all.
And if I get 5, do I get a sandwich or something? Is that
Yeah, you get a massage.
perfect?
Juice.
Well,
I
love
have
that.
those cards for my massage place. That's like, people always are astonished with how much I get massages. And I'm like, you don't understand being in a band, sleeping
yeah.
like all, scrunched up in a coffin.
The first person that introduced me to massages like that, like we every once in a while I get a masseuse out on the road, or there'd be one out like that does it for the whole festival or whatever.
Yeah, love
every
that.
once in a while, those are nice. And then I actually got to go on tour with Iron Maiden back in the day, and
Do they have one? Like
Steve Harris has one
guy?
specifically for himself, and he's got these big old mitts. He's like this crazy. He's the nicest guy ever. I forget his name right now, but Steve's.
They had
Steve's
Hagrid as their masseuse?
Yeah, dude, and because Steve's like a smaller guy. I say smaller, but he's like my size, and he runs around carrying like a 10-pound bass every night. He's been doing it for however many years. He's like up there, and if you see them still. Well into whatever the age they are, I don't want to call them out on it. They're still up there kicking ass, running around like it was 30 years ago. It's pretty impressive.
I've never seen Iron Maiden live. That's one of my bucket list ones. Never seen them.
Well, hopefully concerts get back and you'll be able to check them out.
Dude.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just found out while I was getting set up for this interview that you had a Jack and Coke down there. So let's start off this.
Cheers.
Let's start off with a nice virtual cheers. I appreciate you coming on the show.
I discovered, how did I discover this particular drink? I've only ever found it at Bevmo or like boutique supermarkets. It's called Rock and Rye Slow and Low, and it's a whiskey that's infused with orange, honey, and rock candy.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
You don't even need a chaser. Like if you shoot it, not that I'm doing that all the time, but mix it with a little bit of Diet Coke, and it's the best. I can actually handle it.
See, how much of those are you drinking? Because, to me, it sounds a little bit. No, it sounds a little bit like it's going to give me a headache. I'm a little sensitive to sugars in my alcohol.
It turns out I am too. I just didn't realize, as you get older, I don't know what is happening. But the other day I had 2 margaritas. That's it. And the next day I felt like The Walking Dead.
Well, who made you the margaritas, and where can I get one of those?
There's an Elvis themed bar walking distance from my house, and that's where we all go. And they have the world's shittiest margaritas, I'm pretty sure. No offense to you, Elvis Bar. It's called the Crude Lounge.
Well, I recently found out. What's up? Go ahead.
You're from my area-ish, so maybe Main Street, Garden Grove?
Yeah. I do. I actually grew up on just this side of Westminster, on this side of Garden Grove Boulevard. On the, I guess you want to call it the beach side, but it's like still 15, 20 minutes from the beach.
I know what you mean. The beach side, yeah. I'm on the Disney side.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I'm not familiar. I haven't been down there in a while, to be honest. But my mom still lives in Westminster. I moved over to Huntington Beach.
They're our neighbors.
Yeah, exactly. Are you still in Garden Grove right now?
Yeah, I'm Garden Grove, and let's see, what am I right by that you might recognize? I literally could walk on my balcony and I can see the Disneyland fireworks every night.
Oh,
so
okay. Yeah.
I'm right there. I'm
Awesome.
Anaheim, born and raised. I'm 714.
Good. Same here. That's amazing. See, a lot of commonalities and mutual interests, and mutual friends. I think part of how we reached out to you might have been through Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm. All those guys are good friends of ours, and Lizzie came on the show, and I was like, hey, do you think Ash would want to do this? I saw you guys are like making friends and stuff, and she's like, I don't know, I'll ask. And then next thing I know, you're graciously, we were talking about doing this before, and then you were so busy with touring, you're like, well, let's see when we get back from tour, and we could maybe do it in person. Obviously, touring stopped. Yeah.
It's crazy. And I don't want to say when I talk about all the positives of the coronavirus, especially because it's affected my family so much. Mm-hmm. I understand all the negativity that's coming along with it for everybody, but the positive side is, I'm not as busy as I was, and man, it's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of, I mean, like you said at the top of the show here, that's kind of from a lot of people I've been talking to that are so busy usually that it's been, and for different reasons, right? It's like, oh my God, like I can sit back and reflect on my life a little bit, or I can use this inspiration for whatever art form they're in. And then some people just straight up like, hey, I don't see my family ever. This is fantastic. Yeah. I've got kids at home that I never get to see. So
my first 4th of July at home in years.
And it's going to be a very odd 4th of July.
Let me put it this way. I bought decorations, but none of, I don't even know. Sometimes I don't know what is okay to say because my words, I have such a young fan base that they can get misconstrued really easily, but none of our decorations are U.S. flag based right now because I just feel like, just out of respect for everything that's going on.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I actually had this same conversation with my wife a couple weeks ago, and we ended up putting up some decorations, mostly bunting and stuff, but we've had decorations. 4th of July is always a big thing here in Huntington. Fireworks, everything. It's the biggest parade this side of the Mississippi still to this day, and it's in little old Huntington Beach. Well, it's not as little as it was when I grew up here, but it's still the same. So, you know, and you're absolutely right. There's a lot going on, and I'm trying to navigate that in a way that we can still talk about it. You know, it's like, yeah, patriotism is still a good thing. It's just patriotism and nationalism are two different things, right? Nationalism is like take it or leave it. Patriotism is like, I love this country, but I can clearly see that there's a lot of injustice and a lot of things that clearly need to change in this country that we are. And so I still love this country. I obviously look at it as not as fondly as I did maybe a few weeks ago to a month ago, whatever it was, you know, just when everything, you know, as someone who's of my complexion, grown up where I have, I don't see it. I don't see racism as much. So I was undoubtedly ignorant to what is still going on in these days. And since then, I've tried my best to do what I can by opening my ears, reading some books,
That's all you can do is try your best.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're in such a weird platform. It's a very, like, music, at least the music I grew up listening to was heavily politically based. You know, I grew up on OC punk rock and a lot of people don't want to hear politics come out of music right now. They say I've had a lot of people telling me just keep it to music. I don't want to see that from you guys. And I'm like, man, what kind of music did you guys grow up listening to? Because that's not the kind of music I grew up listening to at all.
Well, not only that, it's kind of rude. It's like, I can't have an opinion too. Like also it's like, no, you're right. I grew up on the same music, Orange County punk. We're very, very vocal about everything. And I'll be honest, I've never used this platform or my platform at all for anything like this before. I've always kind of stared away from it, but now like that just feels wrong to sit on the sidelines right now. So I'm glad that you brought that up.
It's made me think a lot. Like we're all reevaluating our privilege that we've grown up with. You know, like how you said with your complexion and where we grew up. It's made me reevaluate. Like why have I never spoken on politics? And was it because it didn't affect me as much as other people because of the privilege I grew up with? So it's made me start reevaluating. Like why have I never spoken up about my political views until now?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. No, I totally agree with you. It's you said it very well right there. It's the privilege. And the other thing I keep talking about on this show and other places is, you know, the word privilege comes up for people of our color skin and everything like that, where it comes with this negativity. And yes, there is a negative content to it, but you don't need to feel defensive about it, is my point. Like it, just because it's a reality, just go, oh shit, that's what that means? Oh, okay. It doesn't mean that you're a racist because you have certain privileges that other people don't. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
It's coming to realize that and understanding that is, of course, not okay. And what you can do to move forward.
It's an opportunity to learn too. Like I'm always happy when things are shown to me, like maybe a fan, like if a fan has like a bad experience at a meet and greet or someone's order was fucked up, when we're still like any chance where something is put in front of my face and I can learn to do better. Like I'm for that. So this being put in front of my face, I just see it as like a chance to relearn, maybe even I don't feel like I've ever had a bad outlook on it. I accept everyone and all I want to do is love everybody, but I still saw it as like an opportunity to like keep learning, you know, just keep trying. And I think as long as you're trying to do that, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's, and continue using your platform to where you see it fit. And, you know, you have an incredible platform. Actually, I was looking at things. I started a couple months ago when we were originally going to do this chat. I started following you on Instagram and saw, like, you know, you and New Year's Day, this huge following, and I didn't realize, forgive my ignorance, how long you guys have been at it. Like it's been a long run. I assumed, you know, especially just from looking at you right here, that you were much younger than me. Like when I see pictures, everything, I was like, oh, you know, these guys are much younger than me. And it's clearly you just take better care. It's clear you just take better care of yourself.
You know, thing. It's a girl thing. You poor men on the road. I'm having to teach the guys in my band. I'm like, you don't moisturize? Like, you guys, you don't wear sunblock? We play outside festivals?
I do sunblock. I always have done sunblock because of the tattoos.
Okay, good.
Because of the tattoos, though. Was it?
What about your face, though?
I do. I cover my face, too.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
But I do so many other things that aren't good for my skin that it doesn't really fucking matter.
As I take a sip of this whiskey.
At 2:30 in the afternoon.
I don't know what day it is.
It's Thursday. It's Thirsty Thursday. See, it's okay. Thirsty Thursday under quarantine. You can start drinking at any time.
Taco Tuesday or Thirsty Thursday. I don't know which one I would choose if I had to save one.
Oh, I
Probably
don't.
Thirsty Thursday.
You got to put those together. Make it Taco Wednesday. Taco Thirsty Wednesday.
Tacos, and I'm making a jug of sangria.
Nice.
Oh, so yeah, my decoration. So here's our new theme. So Nikki, my guitar player, who's he's my best friend in the whole wide world. We've been at it for over a decade together doing music, and he's Orange County too. Grew up, same venues. We both went to the Chain Reactions, the Hub, Who's Cafe, all those
Who's
from back
Cafe, bringing out all the gems.
You remember that?
Of course I do. I played like a talent show there when I was really young. I saw Pinkly Smooth there, I believe. Avenged Sevenfold before I was in the band. Yeah, yeah.
That's a throwback.
Yeah. It might not have been called Avenged at the time. It might have been one of Zach or Matt's punk bands. I don't remember, but yeah.
Not to date ourselves or anything.
Well, they don't know how long ago that closed. They have to go Google that now.
I'm not as old as Chain Reaction being called Public Storage.
Okay, yeah.
That was still before my time.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, I was at Public Storage.
I don't think I was. I think I was there like right after. I think I was there. But we were actually only months apart in age. That's what I didn't realize. That was the crazy thing. I was like, not. I'm not
what
only.
high school did you go to?
I went to Marina High School in Huntington Beach.
I don't think Marina ever played Loera. I'm Loera.
Oh, okay.
In 2002.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, no. I would have graduated in 2003. You must have gone in a little earlier.
Oh my gosh. I'm just going to say I was really smart. I did. Okay. I was way ahead of my credits and like your, like, I can't remember what they're called. Your like units you need to graduate by my senior year. So I literally went to school every day in my pajamas with a pillow and had one class and then peaced out before noon. And that was my senior year. Because I was like so into music, I just didn't care.
Well, not to compare, you know, that year, but in 2002, I did actually leave high school. I just didn't graduate in 2002. I left to join Avenged Sevenfold. I was.
Oh my god!
I just turned 18. And
that's a good reason to leave.
Yeah.
That's awesome. God, that's so young. That is so young.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
So going back to like the beginnings of some things. I read somewhere something. I just got to ask because it seems almost unbelievable to me. But was there a connection of Adam LeBrock from Homegrown, the punk band Homegrown?
You know Adam?
I've never met him, but I grew up loving his work in Homegrown. Like I transcribed so many of his bass lines when I was in middle school. Like Surfer Girl was like. It had a bass solo in the original version, and I remember learning it. I was like, oh, it was like the first bass solo.
Girl, I haven't heard those words together referring to Homegrown in so long.
Oh, dude. And then I listened through all, I think the first time I was probably 11 years old in 5th grade when I heard their first record, and I was a fan ever since then. Act Your Age or it was it the Kings of Pop was like one of the last ones before.
I
they had a
can't
bunch
even
of stuff.
listen to them so much back in the day, and now if you put a gun to my head, I'm trying to think of like my favorite maybe top 5 songs, and I can't. It's not even like coming to me. I'd have to like go on my iTunes. But him and I met.
So is that a true story that he started, that you guys started New Year's Day together, kind of, or was it a different project?
I'm legitimately trying to remember how him and I met. I remember the moment we started New Year's Day, but I don't remember how him and I actually. I think we met at some house party. I want to say in Huntington Beach, or maybe like Balboa area. I think they had a house right on at some point. And I was in a ska band back in the day. That was my first band. I started playing in bands and playing local venues when I was 14 years old. Mm-hmm. So I was just in the Orange County scene at a very young age, and there weren't a lot of girls my age playing music then. Oh. So I kind of stood out. I was one of the guys, and I met Adam at a party, and he was going through a breakup at the time, I remember, and so was I. And we were like stayed late at this party, and it was just us, and he was writing a song. And it was the first ever New Year's Day song. It was called Ready Aim Misfire. Because he's so clever with lyrics. That guy to this day is still, I feel like, one of the best lyricists I've ever worked with. And he sang me this song, and I thought, we should start a band. I said, that song is so good, we should start a band just because of that song.
That's rad.
And he did.
But that's just so rad to me that, okay, so, prior to talking to you right now, I wasn't sure how into the early Orange County punk rock scene you were, and obviously, as you're saying, is like you were heavily into it. So I just found when I listened to your guys' music, today, that it would be a very interesting melding with Homegrown. Those of you at home who didn't probably grow up in the Orange County area probably don't know who Homegrown is. So go check out Homegrown.
Here's Blink-182 and here's Homegrown, and they were one of those bands that was like this.
Like, are they gonna pull it off? Are they gonna be the next punk rock band in the 90s? And then...
I remember that. But I was at the last Homegrown show that was at House of Blues when it used to be at Downtown Disney, and he was so over it. It was the attitude in the band that he hated. He just didn't like the jokes on stage. He was trying to become more of a family man. He was also he's a pastor now. And he was becoming heavily more religious and into Christianity. And he just didn't like Homegrown anymore, which is so funny because New Year's Day is so heavily dark that what an interesting switch though. But that's ultimately why he left. He wanted to start a family. He ended up marrying. They've been married for like 15 years now with 3 kids. And he's so happy. He loves being a pastor. He loves being a dad. And he left right after we recorded our first record. So we went on a few tours together. And he really shaped me as a musician and taught me a lot. And
that's so funny because in an indirect way, I never directly was shaped by him, but through listening to Homegrown, and I didn't know that how he left Homegrown or anything like that. You just taught me that because after Kings of Pop, I believe, is when I kind of lost touch with Homegrown. I wasn't really listening as much as I was earlier on. But shout out to Adam for shaping a lot of the bass playing that I've done in my life.
I catch up with, New Year's Day has had so many band members. We were not one of those bands that was lucky to have like the same lineup.
Yeah.
It's so hard being a band. It's not for the weak and people fall all the time. So I've had like something like 16 band members since we.
Yeah, I saw some of that. You got to go. As you try to be some kind of podcast host that I'm trying to be, I got to do a little bit of research before you come up. A little bit of the Google. And I saw quite a lineup change, and
a lot of them I'm still friends with. There's like maybe 2 or 3 where we had negative splits, and I never talked to them again. But most of those people, like, I still talk to on a weekly basis. But Adam, I haven't talked to him in years.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but it's unfortunate that as you said, for other people, you could probably blanket this over a lot of the guys that have come and gone in your band. That as you said, it's not for the weak to be in a band, and it's unfortunate for those that it can sometimes chew you up and spit you back out, and that's like it's unfortunate. Yeah. So it isn't for everybody, but You know,
sometimes I'm like, I don't even know how I've been in it this long. Like, I have no idea.
Since 2005 with this band, and then you said it since you were 14 earlier than that because you had stuff before that. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't have gigs before. Like, I had a few gigs before I was in Avenged, and it was with, my buddy's garage band. We'd do a few house parties.
Did you ever play any venues around Orange County? Did you ever play the Showcase? That was kind of a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Showcase.
That was a horrible venue.
Yeah, but it was awesome. It was terrible. You had to there was that upstairs area that the bands would set up their merch.
Yeah,
and you'd have to walk up the stairs, and it was always kind of sketch because you're like,
is
this gonna hold? Is this gonna hold? Yeah.
And you remember, I don't know if you ever went backstage. The backstage was literally like a crawl space. You had to crawl up a man-made ladder and through a crawl space to get to the backstage.
The end of my very first run with Avenged Sevenfold, I had, it was a few days before this. We had two nights where we were at the Showcase Theater co-headlining with Atreyu to top off the end of that.
Atreyu, I was just talking about them the other day because I love Hell or High Water.
Oh yeah, so good. I saw Brandon do that a few years ago at the observatory in the bar room. Yeah, it was really cool.
Oh, his voice is so good.
Yeah, he's such a good dude too.
Really sweet. He actually helped write some of the newer New Year's Day songs on our last record.
Oh, did he? He didn't even tell me that.
Yeah.
He was on the show. That's what he doesn't pimp out his own shit.
With New Year's Day.
I'm gonna text him right after this and give him shit now.
In 2012, we toured together. We both opened up for a band called Me Talk Pretty, which you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna say it. Top 5 worst tours of my life, and he will agree with me because we all, when the tour circled back through LA, we all made a pact. Hell or High Water, New Year's Day, we're like, we're bailing. Bouncing, we're out. We're not even gonna finish this tour. We're both pulling out.
What was the reason? Was it the crowd or the other band? Or
the band was rude and weird, and they booked. And I'm not kidding you. This is before New Year's Day kind of gained traction, and Hell or High Water was brand new. They booked 2,000 cap rooms and maybe had 10 people show up every show. And New Year's Day or Hell or High Water had more people, but they acted like they were so much bigger than us, and they were like.
That's a shame. I mean? That goes back to some of that chewing up and spitting you out. You have to do. There's no need for that.
Anyway,
yeah, and I'm sure for very good reason. Another thing that this segues into is I saw that you guys have done some Warped Tours. We've done some Warped Tours. Atreyu have done some Warped Tours. Everybody that I've talked to that has done a Warped Tour, at least the ones that I've circled myself around, is like-minded in this industry. And I think it's because Warped Tour kind of shapes you a little bit, kind of takes your ego out of things.
Absolutely.
How was your experience? I mean, how many times did you guys do it? 3 times before it was done?
7 times.
You did it 7 times?
I am the woman. I've done it the most times of any female musician, which granted there aren't many. That's like saying I'm the smartest horse. But there's not many females that have done it, unfortunately. But yeah, 7 times over 10 years.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, I started on it's a van, but it's also a stage.
Which one? Well, the van one, is that before? So when we started, it was called Kevin Says Stage.
We did that a couple times, but this was even before that stage existed.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we finished it off in 2017. Finally, one of my biggest goals was obviously as a kid, I wanted to headline Warped Tour because I had the drive-through DVDs, where drive-through records would have all their bands that had played Warped Tour, and you could see Finch or RX Bandits and playing on the beach in Ventura. And I remember thinking my only goal in life is to headline Warped Tour. That's all I want.
Yeah.
And so we did it in 2017, and I so many times have thought, what the fuck are bands going to do now that they don't have that type of tour to kind of shape them?
Yeah, not only just to shape them, but also to get them out there. I know there's a lot more, technologies there, and it's the Wild West. Every artist is going to be able to do whatever the fuck they want to get.
The exposure Warped Tour.
No, totally, I totally agree. And I call those. I didn't go to college. I call those my college years.
I didn't go to college either.
Yeah, but you've done Warped Tour. It's like the fucking same thing. You lived in a van. You started from the bottom. You started your freshman year.
Warped Tour is a college course. I have a fucking PhD. I'm a doctor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dr. Ashley, because
Dr. Ash, paging Dr. Ash.
That's how educated I am now. I've graduated 5 times from Warped Tour College.
Yeah, and it's as I keep saying, it shapes you when you go through that. Like you're around, especially you said I just want to headline, be on that main stage before it's all said and done. And it's because for us, as I'm learning right now, we grew up on the Orange County punk bands, or just Southern California punk bands in general, in general in the '90s when No Effects and Rancid.
Dude. I got to meet John Feldman because Goldfinger was on one of the Warped Tours that I was on. Mm-hmm. And that blew my fucking mind. Like, Goldfinger, when I was in high school, was everything to me. No doubt, obviously, but that was a huge one.
Tragic Kingdom. Although highly sung about or praised upon, I still don't think it gets enough praise. When you go through that one, Tragic Kingdom is such a perfect record to me.
I mean, I personally, in my little world, I give it all the praise. Like, my mom took me to the Anaheim Pond. Mm-hmm. Remember before it was called the Honda? I think it's called the Honda Center.
It's called the Honda Center. Yes, yeah.
She took me to see, No Doubt, headline there during the Tragic Kingdom era when they were filming for their VHS, which I also had, and the openers were Weezer and Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah. I mean, that's an insane. Yeah, even you just saying it. I remember I didn't get to go to that show, but I remember when it happened, and I was like, this is fucking rad.
Yeah, you've seen the music video for Sunday Morning.
Yeah,
obviously that was filmed in Anaheim, and my dad worked Anaheim PD at the time, and he said, I think this band actually likes, to my mom, he goes, I think this band actually likes to filming a music video. They've got police here. If she wants to come, I'll let her come watch it. So I actually got to watch Sunday Morning get filmed. Rad. I met every member. This still kind of makes me a little teary-eyed because it's so crazy how the world kind of circles back around.
Yeah.
I met every member except for Gwen, and I got to tell at an award show, I got to tell Adrian this story, and he was like blown away. I met Adrian when I was really little. I was probably like 11 when they were filming this, like 10, 11. Mm-hmm. And I said, I want to be in a band like you someday. Like, what's your advice? As he was signing my Tragic Kingdom CD, and he goes, don't ever give up, which he made fun of saying later. He's like, that's the worst advice ever. So,
well, sometimes, but it's hard, We've all done it. I've signed something that says rock on, because like, hey, can you write me a message? Sure, rock on. I don't know.
That was mine too, rock on. That's my go-to also. It's been a long day. I can't think. I can't remember my name here. Rock on.
Don't want to blame it on the alcohol, but you could.
Little bit. And he told me that. And so I saw him at an award show. I was like, dude, I don't want to be that guy, but yeah, maybe you'll like the story. And I was like, when I was like a kid, I met you and you told me not to give up. And here I am performing at this award show. And you're like looking at me. And he was so stoked. He's like, you got it, Tom, like, you got to come here. Like, Tony, come here. You got to hear the story. And like called all the members. And Gwen wasn't there, of course, but I think the other members really didn't give a shit because they didn't seem very impressed, but he was super stoked on it. He was really into the story. But yeah, I mean, that's just like Orange County.
Yeah, it's Orange County. It's Warped Tour. I mean, not to keep talking about one band, but like, I remember No Doubt was playing the U.S. Open when it was called the OP Pro. Down there, and like,
dude,
there weren't anybody.
What was that?
It was like 97 or something like that. 96. I don't know. I don't remember. But I know I was super little. Yeah, it was like it was on the beach. Yeah, it was crazy.
Dude, I've seen so much shit in my time. Like, I saw Maroon 5 play at Chain Reaction for 10 people.
What?
Yeah, they were a band called Kara's Flowers in Orange County, and they used to play all the time. And I loved Kara's Flowers. They played with Real Big Fish at some point, and maybe that's how I found them out. But I was at the show where they came on stage. They go, "We're not Kara's Flowers anymore. We're Maroon 5."
You were there when they announced it?
I was there at the Glass House. They did it at the Glass House. I'll never forget it. And I was like, man, I don't even care about the other band anymore. Like, that guy just blew me away. And I saw them play at UC Irvine. I've seen them play Tower Records when Tower Records that used to be on Beach.
On Beach.
And not Berry Farm.
Oh, down there. Yeah.
They played songs about Jane there, like the release, and maybe 20 people showed up. And I'll never forget, Adam Levine pulled into the parking lot in like what looked like a Cadillac from the 1950s.
Rad.
And he turned too early. No, not rad. It looked like that's all he could afford, not like fixed up.
Oh no, I'm thinking like a caddy, like a 50s caddy, like pretty rad.
No,
like
he broke.
Well, if he held on to it and fixed it up, it'd be worth a penny now.
I doubt it, because this is what happened next. He turned too early. Where all the girls, well, there's like 20 of us waiting outside for them to show up. He rolls up on his own, turns in too early, hits the curb, and pops both of his right tires in front of everybody.
Ooh.
Like got out and was like smoking, and like I think about that now. Like he's married to a Victoria's Secret model. He's fine.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about that memory.
Oh no,
like,
he's totally fine. They headlined or not headlined. They played the Super Bowl halftime.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, you play the Super Bowl halftime. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think about that. I think about when I saw him putting buttons on the banister at Chain Reaction to like promote Maroon 5 and you know, like you guys and all the big bands that have come out of our cities. And I just am so glad I was born in the era I was born in.
I totally agree.
I got to see a lot of it happen.
Yeah, and you got to experience it too. That's really cool. Going out to the Warped Tours, running around with your 3-song EPs, just literally handing it to kids as they walk by.
That's 100% accurate. Yep.
We did all of it. It's grassroots right there. But yeah, now you guys have gone through a lot of success. In 2015, you kind of got a lot of looks with Malevolence. Sorry, easy enough for me to say.
No, it's okay. It's a tongue twister. Sometimes I don't know
it's not malevolence. Malevolence. I know how to talk.
Say male violence, like people in interviews, like you know when you go into the tent at a festival and you're kind of thrown into people that maybe don't really know.
Yeah.
Like so, male violence. I'm just like, I don't even care anymore. I'm not even. Yeah.
But you guys got a lot of accolades that came from that release in 2015, and that's kind of, you know, it seems kind of where you guys' career kind of started to take off a little bit. What was it? I mean, for me, and I know what it was like the first time you start to see a little bit of a change. Like it's usually gradual, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I'm at an award show. Oh shit, I'm here. Oh shit, I'm here. Was it even more gradual for you guys, or what was your experience going through those growing pains, as we call them?
2015 to 2018 were really crazy years. Dude, that I don't even know where to begin. Like I met so many of my heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had the honor of doing so many things I never thought I would get to do, and even though like we're like New Year's Day to me is still so far. Like we still have such a long way to go. I cannot remember what festival it was. It was within the past like 2 or 3 years that we got to watch you guys from like, you know, they usually have VIP sections that are on the side of the stage, but they're like raised.
Oh yeah. Something like Rock on the Range or something like that. Like, you know
what? It might've been Rock on the Range actually. It was like, I remember the day.
One we've done a few times.
Yes. Because remember that day on Rock on the Range where there was like rain lightning a couple years ago. We opened up the stage you guys were on. I remember thinking like, that's their LEDs behind us. Oh my gosh. You know, like that was fucking crazy. I get stoked about like the little things like that, but like we have such a long way to go. And who knows if we'll ever get to like that point where we're a main act on a festival like that. Like that's my next goal, you know?
And you guys, absolutely, you can. You guys have continued to work your ass off. You have a good ethic. I mean, yeah, you've gone through some member changes and stuff, and that's unfortunate. But then you come out with a record last year, Unbreakable, and you can clearly hear the difference in this one. I mean, I know you could read, everyone at home, go read every single article that says, "Oh, it's heavier than the last record." Duh. Yeah. But you know, like, and that just comes from a production value. It sounds heavier, but to me, I've always been more impressed with watching a band's maturity in songwriting grow, and I think that's what I think Unbreakable sets apart. Like the melodies, like there's, you know, of course it's still heavy. You still have your amazing growling, screaming voice, everything like that. But then there's time spent on melody, and it really comes across. So I congrats on that record.
Thank you. It was, I mean, a lot of people don't know the gears that are always turning underneath what is New Year's Day on the surface, but most people don't understand that New Year's Day didn't have a real management team, a real record label, or real producers, or even a studio until Unbreakable. Everything else was kind of DIY style. And so, yeah, I got a chance to mature because I actually got to be in a real studio. I actually got to work with, I don't want to say real producers, but like producers who could help fine tune my songwriting. And,
or, you know, sometimes it's not a matter of real or, you know, what their credentials are as a producer. It's finding the one that gets in the room with the other artist and feels like that for those moments really gets it and understands what you're going for and bring it out. And it's hard. It's finding that fifth or sixth member, depending on how many members you have. I know for you and us, it's like sixth member. You got to find that sixth member.
That's how I see
that album.
There were definitely times, because we worked, if I really had to think about it, I'm just going to guess maybe over 30 different like trials with songwriters or producers for that album. So I really didn't know exactly what I was looking for. I just knew if it felt right or if it didn't. There were so many times where I was booked for an 8-hour day in the studio and I'd be texting Nikki and going, well, here goes 8 hours of my fucking day because this shit ain't gonna work. And you
know it kind of right off the bat too. Like if you guys aren't gelling, I don't mean, oh, shake hands, we're nice. Oh, I already know I don't like you. And it's not even about liking. It's about yeah, you know, like as soon as you start trying to put something down that they don't get what you're going for, and
it doesn't mean that they're bad songwriters because they all have amazing like rosters of people they've worked with, you know. But then you're like, they just like we just don't get each other. Yeah, that's all.
And that happens. That's and there's no harm, no foul when you know that. Everyone.
I actually connected and fell in love with 2 producers, so I convinced the record label to let me split Unbreakable with 2 producers and put them both in the studio at the same time because I felt one.
That's interesting.
I know it was either
knowing producers. I don't know if.
That's how much they believe in it.
No, a lot of people, producers are they want their own thing. They don't want to mess with another producer. They want
the whole pie. They don't want to share the pie because that's their bread and butter. They need the whole pie so they can live, and that's perfectly understandable.
Well, I don't even mean from a business, as like an artist point.
Totally from a business.
You just mean it's from, I think about it from the artist. Some of the producers we've done with, I just feel like their egos kind of get in the way sometimes. Yeah. They might not want to, not necessarily just because of the business side, but also because like, fuck that. This is my shit. I know what I know what I'm doing.
I think, and I will totally. I mean, they're 2 amazing, incredible producers. One was Scott Stevens, who's done the number ones for Hailstorm, In This Moment, Shine Down. He's got a bunch more, but I can't remember. And then Mitch Marlowe, who's done like Hyro the Hero, In This Moment. Like my favorite In This Moment songs. And he's got this special ear that's fucked up. Like his ear is fucking weird. And then Scott is so incredible at melody and reeling in the weirdness so it can translate in a more broad way. And I thought, well, if I can put the weird together with the guy that can reel it in, maybe we'll make some magic.
I think you nailed it. I think you guys nailed it. I think you nailed it. I mean, that's what I hear when I listen to it. You still have the very industrial, heavy, crazy, weird. I mean, you described it as like just a weird ear bender kind of shit. But then you've got these melodies that come in that kind of bring it all back together. I think I
had to really the champion song of the album is called Unbreakable, and that song, it was split right down the middle. We had people from our label and our team who just fell in love with it, and then you had people who were like, "This is not listenable at all." And every time someone said, "I can't listen to this," it's like that just makes me like it more.
Oh yeah, you have to have that. That's music. If you don't have at least some people hating it, then you didn't do it right. Like that's
I told them, I was like, I want a riff that's so ugly that is almost unlistenable, and then just stop there. And that's what we came up with. And I don't know how I'm ever gonna get to go further than that. I feel like I reached my limit as far as ugly can go.
Well, first of all, you're looking at me, and we're seeing each other, so it could get a little uglier. But it goes for me. You think that there's no spot after you've gotten there because you're just like, well, I can't even imagine. I'll worry about that when I get there. And then you get to that next spot, and you're like, by the time you get to your next record, let me know if this doesn't happen. Is it really?
Yeah, my first video is on Tuesday.
Oh wow, incredible!
It feels soon.
Yeah, that does seem well. Because I mean, I bet you it feels soon because you guys had to cancel some tours and stuff, right? Cut your cycles short a little bit.
I don't know, man. I feel like I look at, not to bring up No Doubt again, but between Tragic Kingdom and Return to Saturn, there was like a 5 to 6 year period. And now I feel like you pump out albums so fast. A year goes by and it's like, okay, what's your next one?
You're pissing off all the Avenged Sevenfold fans and saying this right now too, because they have no
Why?
idea what they're doing, and we haven't put out a record in like 4 years. And
No, that's good. It's a good thing. I think.
yeah, they're going like, yeah, right.
Man,
why did they wait so long?
No, because I come from a different era. Oh, I don't know about what era most of your fans are from, but I'm a fan, and the era I'm in was, I wouldn't have liked if No Doubt came out with an album every year. It would have been too much for me. I wouldn't change anything.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. And, you know, I understand how that could seem soon, especially if you're just saying, you still don't know if you can push that limit of ugliness or anything like that. And maybe that's not even what you're going to go for. You got to feel the moment, right? You got to get in there and feel the moment, right? You know what?
After this quarantine, and I told...
Is it a country record? It's a country record, isn't it?
I fucking wish. I wish so much.
Dude, country's so much fun. They have so much fun on those festivals. I don't know if you've been to any of them. They're so much fun.
I know. I
just mean as like hanging out.
I say like, man, why couldn't I start a country band? I just was born in the wrong area of the world. I got this god punk. I moved to Orange County.
Yeah.
And I haven't. I hear you're a 3-year-old, right?
Oh, you could. Yeah. I have my 3-year-old.
Yeah. Where are they?
He's downstairs.
He's downstairs. He's loud because I just heard him.
Yeah, I know. It'll pick up on this mic. That's why I have this one, because I'll clean it up later and you won't actually hear it on that one.
Okay, sorry. You can
no, it's okay. No. I have a 3-year-old son. He's 3.5 now. His name's Frankie, and he's awesome. It's the funnest for the great moments, but I got to tell you, in the last few weeks, it's been the worst moments sometimes too.
Well, and I bet there's a lot of stir craziness going on.
Oh yeah,
that's not.
He's not in school. He's not in school right now, and he was in school for a year prior to that. So it's like,
So where's his outlet?
Yeah, exactly. It's go out in the neighborhood and ride your bike. I have to stand next to you the whole time. Like,
yeah, that could be a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought not to compare dogs to kids. I know it's not the same at all, but even today I was looking at my 2 dogs and I was like, you guys are so needy. Oh my God.
Oh, they're so stoked you're home right now too? What kind of dogs do you have?
One of them's right here. He's sleeping, but he won't mind.
Perfect.
So he comes with me to Chain Reaction whenever we used to play there. He loves meet and greets. He's got his own fan pages. This is Barney. He just woke up.
What's his name? Sorry?
This is Barnabas.
Barnabas?
He looks like he doesn't know what the hell just happened.
How old is he? What kind of dog is he?
He's probably 10. He's probably 10 by now.
Super
I
cute.
found he's my trash dog. Both of them are. I found both of them essentially just in dumpsters, pretty much. I just picked them off the street. This guy got some notoriety himself when PETA asked him to be the face of their Adopt Don't Shop campaign.
Wow.
My little guy had his first
little model. Yeah, he's a little model there.
Photographer said he was a professional. Best he ever worked with.
I mean, he's looking pretty good right now, and I'm not having
he's docile.
Yeah. I have a little Yorkshire Terrier that is going to be 12 years old in May. Next May. Yeah, he just turned 11.
That's a long time.
Yeah, we had him since he was a puppy. My wife got him. She didn't get him into dumpster. Let's put it that way.
She didn't. Oh, it's like she did.
No.
It takes many family members reasoning with me not to keep picking up animals. I only have 2.
It sounds like my mom. My mom did that all the time too.
She picked up animals.
She picked up animals when she was younger, and then as she would go to the shelters all the time, and she would come back with a dog every few months. We had a bunch of dogs.
Dogs have.
We had, well, I mean, she would always pick up the old ones, the most pitiful ones, so they wouldn't last as long.
Good.
But we'd give them a last minute home for a while.
My heart breaks for the seniors.
Mm-hmm.
That's so sad. I had to unfollow all the dog rescues I followed Instagram because it would legitimately make me cry if I was just scrolling through and I saw that. I'm still active every time I do like a sale or a special merch item. We always donate to a specific animal rescue, but I just can't look at it.
Yeah, no, I'm one of the people that turns the channel when I'm watching
Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah, Sarah McLachlan. I'm like,
in the arms of an angel. I can't even hear that song anymore.
I can't handle it either.
Sarah.
Again, we have so many of these mutual things in common. It's just so funny. This is our first conversation, and it has to be virtually too.
I know. Well, you know what? That's part of the beauty of quarantine. Is it's
people getting together in a different
your
way.
first or your second?
Oh, this is still my first. I'm about to move on. So when Ash jumped on the video chat here, she had a Jack and Coke. I hadn't had it. I wasn't sure if we were going to be drinking in this episode. So not to be outdone, I had to go pour 2 beers. So I'm about to start my second one.
I brought the party. I blame myself. I blame myself. Okay, he can go back to bed. There you go, bud.
Bye, Barnabas.
He's such a good dog, but man, he's ugly.
No way.
I love the ugly ones. The uglier, I want them.
You got the ugliest parts of the songs. You want the ugliest dogs.
Yes,
I kind of agree with. I agree with this so far.
I always say, I can't remember where I heard this. Someone said once, "Stay beautiful and keep it ugly," and that stuck with me. That stuck with me so much, and I really stuck with my band. Actually, I had to tell the guys to tone it down. I was like, "You guys look like rejects from The Walking Dead, Beetlejuice. Like, we can't be this ugly. Like, everyone's gonna hate us."
No way, man. That sounds rad.
So at
least in the music videos, you can do that. We've always overdone it in music videos. It's okay.
We toned it down a lot with our last album. Like, we had to. And everyone would say, they asked the guys, like, what does it feel like that you have a girl and she makes you all the makeup? Like, it's not me.
Yeah.
I'm asking them to stop. I feel like it's, what's the word when you're not reaching as many people as you could?
There's a word for that?
I'm a person. Yes. Well, I just feel like it was making a lot of people who maybe would have paid attention to the music, it was turning them off because they would see, like, God forbid we ever played a festival, like my guitar player's face was on the Jumbotron because everyone would be like, ugh, and no one would want to check us out. So now we don't make.
No, we had our moments too. That's why, I mean, a lot of people have always asked over the years, like, hey, you guys don't wear makeup like you used to. It's like, kind of overdid it and, kind of got a little old. And
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's so much work.
It's a lot of work. A lot of work to take on and put off, and especially with the festivals on Warped Tour. We made a pact on Warped Tour 2017. Was it 15? It was one of the years where we wore the most makeup. I can't remember which. And we said, we're not going to let the heat compromise our leather jackets or our makeup. And no matter how hot it is, we're wearing our jackets and we're putting the makeup on. We're not wearing flip-flops or board shorts or tank tops. We're not going to be that band. That's probably the hardest summer of my life.
We did that on Warped Tours as well. Not quite to the extent.
Didn't compromise?
We didn't compromise, but we didn't really have leather jackets at that time either. Like when we couldn't afford leather jackets at that time.
They are expensive.
Yeah, they are. They can be. They can be.
$400.
There's just a few more things I want to get into though. Before we get too far off topic. On one of the other things I saw is you guys, Rhea Ripley from WWE.
I was hoping you were going to bring that up because I see you're into wrestling. So.
I'm huge into wrestling, and I noticed it immediately. I was watching WrestleMania live when it happened, of course. It was the first one without a crowd. I was like, I got to check this out. My son had never seen wrestling before. Side note to that, my 3.5-year-old son sees WrestleMania for the first time. By the end of it, he's drop kicking me on the couch. It was amazing.
That's awesome. I also noticed your shirt.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. The Undertaker. Yes. The man, the dead man just retired, but cheers to
cheers to my dad.
Cheers.
He doesn't know that, but
yeah,
that's what I say.
No, yeah. Undertaker, obviously one of my favorites. I just have to ask, were you really into, obviously you kind of answered this, you're into wrestling before Rhea even played your guys' song into WrestleMania. So what were some of your favorite wrestling moments? Let's geek out a little bit about it here, because I've been watching since before I could remember. My dad took me to WrestleMania 2 when it was at the location was in. They had 3 locations that year. One of them was in LA, and they snuck me in under the ticketing price because I was like.
You didn't have 3 locations that year for WrestleMania.
So it was 19.
I'm a newer fan. I'm only about 5 years in.
Oh, okay.
Watch it. I was treated like a little girl. No one put on wrestling for me when I was younger, so it was something I got into on my own.
It's a damn shame, but at least you're into it now, and you could get the WWE Network and watch back at all these things.
Dude, I've watched every documentary I can't wait for more. Hopefully there's more. I've watched,
You just got to go back to so what I did when I got the WWE Network about 2 years ago. I hadn't been watching wrestling very closely in a long time, but then that like just brought my fandom back because I just went back to all the pay-per-views that I remember watching when I was a kid and even some before, and it's just very nostalgic, right? And yeah, so you asked about that WrestleMania. It was WrestleMania 2. They held it at Madison Square Garden. I can't remember the arena in Chicago, and I believe it was the Forum here in LA. And they had it, and then the pay-per-view would go from one ring to the next, and they'd have 3 different setups going on. It was really interesting to watch that back.
Really hard to do. I'm always blown away by WrestleMania, and I can't believe I never got into it sooner because I'm also such a branding and marketing person. Like, that's why I love Kiss so much.
Oh, Kiss is awesome. I was on the golf course yesterday, 2 days ago. I hadn't listened to Kiss in so long.
Like there?
No. That would have been amazing. That'll happen one day. One day I'm making that happen. I'm fucking Wayne Campbell in that shit.
Alice Cooper on the golf course.
Yeah, well, that's the other one I got. Yeah. I would be very not worthy not to steal from Wayne's World, but because he's actually really good at golf. I just started like a year or so ago. I'm shit. I just go out there to drink and have a good time. But I was blaring Kiss on my country club at my country club. I was like, I haven't heard Kiss in a long time. I'm throwing it on. I shuffled through the whole catalog.
You're blaring, like you have like a golf cart you're blasting it on.
Yeah. I have my little Bluetooth speaker. I threw it down there and I play.
Golf cart would be the only reason I'd get into golf. Golf cart with a cooler in the back. That's it.
That's all it is. I'm telling you, the other part of it is you just smack a ball. I'll take you out when the pandemic stops. I'll take you out to golf and you'll have a blast. I promise.
You don't want to take me to golf. I will embarrass you.
I'm not embarrassed. I don't.
Oh.
You don't know this about me yet, Ashley, but I don't embarrass easily. So like, don't worry.
I do only when it comes to like sporty things, which aren't even sporty. Like on tour, people like to throw frisbees, and no one asks me to play anymore because I can't throw it right, or like I can't hit golf balls.
It's okay. You don't need to hit them. Just pick them up and throw them and have a beer with me. We'll be fine.
I can drink the drinks though.
There you go.
I do and drive the golf cart, maybe.
So let's get back into wrestling a little bit, not to get too far off topic. But yes, this is something that I was very excited to ask you about.
You're not gonna like what I'm about to say.
Oh no, lay it on me.
I don't. I actually kind of blocked this out. I've had a fucking gnarly couple months of just disappointment. I was supposed to play WrestleMania.
Oh, that was supposed to be a live thing there.
Yeah,
okay.
We were working on it. It was gonna. We were gonna be the band playing.
Well, I will say, don't get too bummed out about it just yet. Rhea Ripley isn't going anywhere anytime soon. She just got out of NXT for that. She's
a star.
Absolutely. And as long as she's coming out to it, which I believe she will be, I think you're going to get another chance at something like that.
They promised. They were very apologetic. When you get I've got several emails from Triple H, which like.
That's huge. See, now I'm okay. Now I'm the one who is super envious. That's like one of my all-time favorite. I mean, what's like a lot of people's all-time favorites. But when he came into his own as Triple H with Shawn Michaels and D-Generation X, holy shit.
Shawn Michaels is one of my. I'd say if I was gonna pick 5, Shawn Michaels, Heartbreak Kid.
HBK, baby.
Even though I'm more drawn to the darker and weirder characters like Undertaker or Mankind.
I can't see why. That's so weird.
I know it's not obvious, right? but I like characters like The Rock too. And
no one dislikes The Rock. No one dislikes The Rock.
No, but it was very fascinating to watch his documentary about like I didn't get into it at this early, so I didn't know that he was originally supposed to be a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that he wasn't kind of the shit talker at first, and I found that so fascinating, and it really taught me a lot about branding and marketing. So you have to pay attention to the audience, that you have to pay attention to where they kind of are driving you to.
Absolutely.
They don't let it control you, but also pay attention.
I'm glad you brought. So I was about to geek out about all the fandom's side of it, but you did just bring wrestling into a more serious outlook, and I think that's very poignant and intelligent of you to do. A lot of people look at wrestling and they go, "Oh, it's fucking stupid. It's fake. It's blah blah blah." It's like, Well, yeah.
Those are
So
the
is
people who
everything
like
else
it.
you watch. You also watch movies. Do you think those are real or something? Like, what are you
Refine
talking
your
about?
palate.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly. And
you,
it's
you
like,
uncultured swine.
yeah, uncultured swine. I love it. So yeah, I mean, it's just, but you bring into a good point of it. Like, this is, it's an art form, and you know, you can shit on it all you want, just like people shit on everything else. But
He
it's like,
shits on it still.
I don't know. I don't know. People do.
I don't know. I don't see it anymore. I actually feel like wrestling has made it, not that it ever went away, but I feel like the comeback is very real lately in the past
Absolutely.
like 3, 4, 5 years. Steve McMahon is just, I think he's a genius,
Hmm.
absolute genius, and he knows what he's doing. And
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to crucify you here real quick. You talking about Shane McMahon, his son, or Vince McMahon? Because you said
oh,
Steve.
sorry, Vince McMahon. Sorry, not Shane. Not Shane.
I'll fix it in post, or maybe I
Sorry.
won't and just let you get crucified for
Sorry,
that.
I'm like almost a full cup in. No. Shane, I actually really enjoyed Shane and the Miz's fight in WrestleMania. It was only like a year or 2 or 3 ago.
I think it was. Again, I hadn't gotten back into everything till very
Okay,
recently.
Shane and the Miz a couple years ago. I want to say, I can't remember where this WrestleMania was. Also, don't crucify me for that. I cannot remember the latest day of my life. But they had a fight that must have lasted 15 minutes, and it was so much fun to watch. And I didn't like Shane until that fight because I thought Shane was annoying.
Yeah, a lot of
But
people
again,
do. That's what a heel is supposed to do. That's exactly what a heel is supposed to
he did
do.
his job. I don't like him. I bought into it. I totally bought
The
into
story,
it.
the best thing is like, yes, of course, the in-ring action is so impressive. Like what these guys and what these ladies are doing physically is impressive. I gravitate towards the storylines. I'm like, I want to see the over-the-top storyline. I want to know. I want to know why I should feel this way when these two get in the ring.
I like The Miz a lot, but the reason why I like The Miz is because he started out on Real World as being a wrestling fan. And I just love that story. Like he did it.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It is really cool. And he didn't start out as great as he did on the mic, and he became really good on the mic as they say.
Better. Baron Corbin. Ooh. You might also want to double check that name. I like
it's Baron Corbin. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
We have mutual friends of his. I'm gonna be reaching out to him soon too. Look out for that episode coming at some point.
I like where he's going. I like that he's going into this like Game of Thronesy thing.
Yep.
I'm feeling it. I like that he got rid of the hair. I'm feeling the whole thing. I'm really liking him a lot. Who else? Who else is new?
Well, I have to ask too, because we're predominantly talking about the WWE right now, which I understandably. Have you watched any of the AEW, the All Elite Wrestling stuff?
No, I only have so much free time to watch anything. Period.
Oh, come on! What are you like working on something or something? God,
yeah.
Making me look bad over here.
I'm not as well educated on a lot of the other outlets, like even the NXT universe. I'm not. I don't know hardly at anything. I'm only getting.
Well, the next time I talk to you, I expect you to be brushed up on all these things. Yeah, do a little bit of homework.
I know Rhea in NXT, and I've made a couple wrestling friends, who are on the smaller scale of wrestling, who, after being introduced into the wrestling world, I'm starting to kind of like get my feet wet and get to know people, and there's a lot. There's so much different outlets now, and there's so many wrestlers and so many storylines to learn, and I'm still learning.
Oh yeah, you always will be. That's the beauty of it. There's always something to learn.
The Rhea Ripley thing happened by complete accident.
Yeah.
That wasn't something where someone reached out to my label and went, "Oh, we know you're into wrestling. Do you want to do a wrestling theme song?" It was a complete, total right place, right time moment. I got flown to New York to do a songwriting session, which I hate flying. And I don't even know why I agreed to it. Because I'm like, it's not like me to fly somewhere just for a songwriting session. But I did.
Wait, let's not braze over that. What do you hate about flying? Does it scare you, or is it just
2 nights I've had nightmares?
Okay, so it scares you. Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify that.
I don't like to fly, and I think last year and I'm sure you can beat me by about 100 flights, but last year we must have done about 20, which is 20 too many for me.
You're just a nervous wreck the whole time.
It's anxiety the whole time, and I can't take anything.
Oh, geez.
I just sit, like, just filled with anxiety until we land. I watch the tracker the whole time. I don't even watch a movie. I'm just like white knuckling it. So
You can't even drink, or is it, you just take
I
your
drink.
voice? Oh, okay.
I drink,
Like,
yeah.
That helps. It's got to help a little
before I
bit.
even get on the plane.
I am too, and I don't have an anxiety about being on the plane.
I'm so jealous. If there's one thing I could wish, like if I could give away a trait, it would be my fear of flying. I'm no one in my band is afraid. They're all happy, just taking naps, and I'm like,
That's brutal.
shivering, freaking out, and scaring people around me. You know, everyone's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I had a bad dream."
Yeah, I had a bad dream before this. It was this plane. I saw you in my dream.
I legitimately freaked people out, and
you were there. That pilot was there.
Talk about it. It's like, ugh. Anyway, so I went to this writing session. I don't know what possessed me to do it. I was probably like, I've turned down so many flights. Like, I should probably just say yes to this one. So I went, and we did not mix. I flew all the way to New York, and the songwriter and I just did not mix at all. He literally looks at me and goes, "I don't get you. Like, you're really nice. So I'm nothing against you. It's just like, I don't get it." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's fine." And in my mind, I'm like, "I'll just go explore the city." And he goes, "But there's 2 guys down the hall who do metal music, and maybe you'd work really well with them." I was like, "Well, I'm here. Yeah.
Give it a shot."
Yeah. So I walked down the hall and knocked on the door, and it's 2 guys my age. And we ended up writing a song that's on the record called Done With You. And they were great. Like, we banged out a song in a night, which, you know, happens every now and then, but not very often. And they go, "We do the theme songs for WWE. We love your voice. Like, if one for a girl comes across our desk, we'd really like you to do it." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure."
Yeah, that'll never happen.
Yeah, that'll probably never happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. And then a year later, like a whole year later, they go, "We have a new girl. She's just gotten signed to NXT. She needs a theme song. We have an idea. Would you be willing to do it?" And I'm like, "I don't even care what it says. I don't care what it sounds like."
You're like, yes, and yes. Now. I will even fly to this one too.
Yeah, well, luckily I didn't have to. I was like,
good.
"Can I stay in California though?" And so I recorded it, and the first take, they were like, "Yeah, not like that." They go, "Can you do it this way?" So I recorded it again. They go, "Yeah, not like that either." I was like, "Oh, what do you want?" They go, "We want you to sound just like this guy." And I don't sound anything like there's no songs that exist that I sound like that on, but I tried to mimic it best I could. And man, yeah, so it was going to happen. We were in talks, and then I got the email and from Triple H himself, and he apologized and said not to worry and that it'll happen.
Yeah.
So, you never know.
Yeah. You never know, but when Triple H tells you it'll happen, it's got to put a little bit of confidence in you, right?
I don't know, man. I've learned I don't think about past today. If it happens, great. If not,
it's a good way to look at things. It absolutely is.
Try not to.
Well, we'll put a bow on this in a second, but we talked a lot about the shitty things going on. Before we get past those, there's one last one that's kind of shitty, but I laugh a little bit because I do know he's okay. I do know he's okay. Our mutual friend we talked about before, Bobby Shabinsky, just a few days ago, tested positive for good old Shuby, tested positive for COVID-19. He's doing much better. I just got off the phone with him before.
I thought it was weird. I haven't heard from him for a minute.
Yeah, I guess him and Brando, as some of the viewers of the show know, my director, Brandon Lombardo.
Now he has to get tested.
Yeah, now he's got to get tested before I'll let him back in my house because he was.
Bobby,
I know, but
that's his luck.
It is. Well, he was traveling. He was traveling again. Things have opened back up, as you know, and then now they're shutting back down. Things started opening up for us here at the show too. I have a few episodes. I had Brandon over.
I went to Beach Street Huntington Beach last week. That's the first place I went. I went to Fred's.
Yep. That's. You got to wait 14 days now because that's one of the places that are Main Street in Huntington Beach has gotten hit pretty hard. I have another couple of friends that notified me they tested positive as well. Luckily, so far,
excited to go out.
On wood. Oh, I know. So I mean, I went to a restaurant that got shut down in Captain Jack's down the road here.
No.
They're saying temporarily they're closing back down. But I don't mean to say shut down. That place is never going anywhere. It's been there for like 70 years. Best prime rib and crab legs in Huntington Beach. Anyways, I digress. It's good. I mean, knock on wood, everyone so far that I've talked to has been able to get through it. I talked to Chris Santos, the celebrity chef from Chopped. He had out of people I call friends, he had it the worst. He's okay though. He was out
Oh
for
my
4
God.
weeks.
When did he have it? Recently?
He had it like kind of at the top, like
Really?
right at the beginning of things. He was out for 4 weeks, and then an additional 2 weeks because he had to wait before he could see family and friends to make sure.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I mean it's
I
a real
just feel
thing.
like we've all been through in our lifespan on this planet. We've seen some crazy shit go down. You know, we were teenagers when 9/11 happened,
Mm-hmm.
and we watched all the fallout for years and years from that. We've seen some crazy shit, but man, like 2020 is the cherry on top of.
It absolutely takes the cake, except for there's 2 things that I want to talk with you about that'll, kind of end this up on a brighter note, hopefully. Early on this year, you got engaged, correct?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a coffin.
Oh, that's...
You can't really tell.
You could totally tell. We'll be able to digitally get in on that one. Yeah, that's really cool. Like, how long were you with your fiance, and how did he propose, or did you propose? I mean, it's 2020. How'd this go down?
Well, we only knew each other for 3 months.
Wow.
And look, I've always put relationships and things like that. I've always been on the back burner because being a traveling musician, and on top of that, a girl who's normally on a tour with about 30 to 40 dudes. I've had a major problem. Like, I've just had a problem with that, just relationships being good.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a very special person to understand that. And I just have never found that, and I didn't care, so I never put any weight on it. And I kind of just focused on the band and was happy with that. And he just kind of fell out of the sky, and he builds coffins. And
so he's gonna be able to marry and bury you. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, we were going to have dual coffins at the wedding, but I'll get into that in a second. So he sent me a coffin a couple years back, and it's the most beautiful thing I was ever given. I remember opening it, and my parents were there when I opened it for some reason. I was like, oh my God, like this really good looking guy just sent me this nice coffin. Like, and in my mind I was like, okay. And then I never talked to him again for 3 years.
Oh, that was such a nice gift.
I know. I was just like, he wrote to me like months later, and he goes, well, did you like it? And I was like, yeah, thanks. And that was our like, that was it. I don't know. I just wasn't really thinking. I just wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then this would have been October, maybe late September of last fall. I got a tag, which I never check, on my Instagram. It was like, going to go see New Year's Day, and tagged New Year's Day. I was like, this is the coffin guy. It's kind of my show. He wasn't gonna try to reach out to me and direct message me or anything. I just happened to see it, so I wrote to him. I was like, yo, like, the coffin.
Yeah.
Let's have a drink. I want to thank you. He was like, I'll buy you a drink. I feel so bad. I was so busy with life. I feel really bad. I never thanked you. And then we never stopped talking. And then we went he flew back on the tour and took me on a date and asked me to be his girlfriend on that date. And I was like, you know what? Yes. I'm feeling this. Yes.
Wow.
And then on New Year's,
Not wasting any time. I like it.
I don't know. I've been on this earth for a while. Like, you kind of know. You kind of know at this stage. And he, 3 months later on New Year's, in front of the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, which no one was in line for.
Crazy.
There's no one there.
And it was on what you said on New
During the
Year's
countdown
Day?
on New Year's night, like at Disneyland. They're doing 10,
Wow.
9.
Why were they not there? Because they still had it dressed up for Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah,
Yes.
I luckily got to go in right before they closed again and take my
So
son.
beautiful.
So awesome. I mean, I've been to Haunted Mansion 1,000 times, but I had to bring my son because he just got into Nightmare Before Christmas. I was like, oh, dude, you're gonna be stoked, and he still talks about it. He still talks about it.
That's so cute. Seeing it through a kid's eyes would just be even better.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
I think everyone was maybe on Main Street to watch the fireworks, but for whatever reason, no one was there. And he asked him to marry him, which I kind of didn't see coming. Because I thought surely we would be dating for
a little longer, maybe.
You know what?
Maybe like 4 months.
Yeah, at least like another week. And so I said yes, and we were supposed to get married October 25th, and now we're at the point where things are closing back down again, and we might just have we might just say our vows on the 25th and call it a day. And
what's the significance of the 25th that you're really holding on to it?
Okay, we wanted Halloween, but Halloween is so special, we didn't want it on Halloween, so we thought 25th is just a couple days before Halloween, so we can party really hard and maybe kind of have our 3-day hangover and then bounce right back in time for Halloween. This is our mindset.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I'll tell you something about that in a second. Keep going though with your story.
We're adults, so we have to keep in mind.
Yeah.
And will we be drinking? Yes. Do we need 2 days?
At least.
Yeah. So he was going to build 2 coffins that are friends. We had like 150-person guest list, which for us is a lot.
That's a lot. No, it's.
So we're pulling the trigger on it, and we're going to have to postpone it, unfortunately. But you know what? After everything else that's gone on, that's not the worst thing.
No. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to point out that obviously you as a couple, even just yourself, huge Halloween fans as well as I am. I actually have an annual Halloween party that I've had since 2008 at my house. So we throw a fucking rager. I decorate to the nines. You being in Orange County, if you're around in town next time these things go back together, you have to stay in touch, and you could come check.
Are you going to get to have your party this year?
I don't know yet. I that's something I could play by ear until October 1st, and then I'll
Let me put this on your plate. Yes, I'm coming. I'm going to be there. I'll help decorate because I've got it all in storage. I'm ready to go.
Ready to go.
I've got so many blow-up lawn decorations just on the ready.
Oh, dude.
Just say the word.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if you just heard this, but Queen Mary Dark Harbor, which is one of my favorite haunts to go to.
Oh, I love that one.
It's officially canceled for this year. So I'm worried not Scary Farm is next, and I'm worried about Horror Nights.
All of them. Yeah, it doesn't look good for this year, but maybe next year. Next year. There's always next year. We'll still
next year.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yep. Everyone heard it here. So yeah, the other thing that I wanted, the 2 other things to end on a happy note. Happy birthday, by the way. I know it was a few months ago now, but your birthday was in February 21st. Yes, you got it in right before lockdown happened in California.
I did, but I was on tour.
Oh, I was on tour. Birthdays are never as fun.
We actually played. We had a big milestone that day. We played the Alley Pally in. I suck. London.
Yeah, I believe. Is it?
Yeah. But it's somewhere over there.
Do you want me to? I could always do it in post. We could do it like Kung Fu movie. We can do Kung Fu movie. We'll do a Kung Fu movie.
Yes, please. Just overdub it. Yeah. So we got to play that, and we went out and celebrated. But none of my friends and family were there. Just my band members, and we were with Hailstorm at the time, and we got good and we partied hard. But
that's good.
Actually, you know what? That was actually a pretty good birthday.
Now you're thinking about. See, I told you I was bringing up some fun stuff. Well,
it was actually pretty good.
Again, I know it's a few months late, but happy birthday.
I turned 21.
I know. You were finally able to drink legally in the States, but luckily you were already in London, so you had been able to drink for a while. So I mean,
that's true.
The legal age is 19 there, I believe. I don't know why I would remember that.
Yeah, but I know it's in the teens.
It's 19. I remember because I was 19 the first time I went there and toured, and
But that was amazing.
It was and it wasn't.
That's another episode.
Yeah, we'll have to have another episode of all the shitty things that we did when we were really young. The last thing that I just found on your Instagram, I was so excited. I see these pictures that you take in what looks like an old VHS cassette rental place, and ask about people's favorite horror movies. And then I read one of your captions was, "What movie did you used to go to your local place to on a Friday night and just perusing through and going based solely off of covers?" And I did this too. This is something that I didn't know a lot of other people did, but I absolutely did. It was a local one. It wasn't a chain of any kind that had a bunch of cassettes.
Mine was a local one too.
And I can't remember the name of it. I apologize. It's no longer there because it's still around the corner from
like a Showtime video or like a Video Land or Hollywood.
It was right next door to a pizza place called Giorgio's, 7-Eleven, and a laundromat, all in this little strip mall. And
VHS rental. That makes sense.
And a VHS rental. Yeah. It was perfect. And then we'd go in there.
Sounds safe.
Yeah, me and my buddies would walk right in. Or like it would be like one or two other buddies that were into this too. We'd just laugh and try and find the most ridiculous title with the most ridiculous cover.
There were bad ones.
Oh, there were so many bad ones. I loved them. There was one like they did an American Gothic one, and it was like with the cover from that old like painting.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it yet, go out of your way and the pitchfork, the whole nine. There's a baby that looks like an actual turd in it.
I went back. It's an exhibit that's in North Hollywood right now called Flashback Video.
Oh, rad.
Before they close it back down, you run down there and check it out. It makes you feel like a kid. They do this. It's amazing. It's an incredible experience. It's like $8, and you get to watch like a VH1 employee instructional video, and you have to punch your time clock to go inside.
That's
and
so
it had,
rad.
like, Tab soda and all the things from when, it's for both children of the 80s. It had like all the toys and stuff, and you go in and it's just the horror section of a VHS rental with the concession stand, and it's exactly like how you remember it.
That's so rad.
And me and my fiance were in there. He picked up this one called Bad Taste, and he goes, I always wanted to watch this as a kid, but my mom wouldn't let me. He's like, can we watch this tonight? I was like, you got it. Let's watch it. It was fucking bad.
Of course.
It's not bad, like enjoyable, just bad.
There's some really bad ones. There was another one called Skinner that the guy like would wear other. Yeah, it was terrible. It would.
Okay, there was
wear other skin. Yeah.
So I did this. I was like, I'm gonna pick one out based on the cover, just like old times. So I picked out this one called Death Spa.
Ooh,
also bad. Yeah. I don't think anyone is. It's about a spa that kills you in the 80s. So
I don't see how that sounds bad. That sounds amazing to me. I love that shit.
I call it the circle of suck. When something is so bad, like it circles back around to good, but these just stopped at bad and like never like went the full circle to good.
I'm still gonna try and find them and watch them, right?
Okay, find Death Spa. I hate Bad Taste. Please put a review at the end of this. Be like, okay, redo. I watched those videos. She was right. They suck. Did all the Puppet Masters, and those still suck, but are just nostalgic. They came out with a new one 2 years ago, like a brand new Puppet Master. Horrendously bad. So bad. But I had the best time watching it.
Just from the nostalgia.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. No, just the kill scenes are blow your mind.
Yeah, I haven't been able to see a really good horror movie in a while. It's really hard to get away from a 3-year-old and watch some horror right now. But I did get the last one. I think I got to see in a 4D movie theater before the movie theaters closed down was the second installment of It. And
movie theaters. I forgot about those.
I know, right?
Shit, I actually have. I'm working on a horror sleeve. Well, I could show you, but I don't know if I could get it. So I've actually have. Well, this is weird because I'm like, you can't see it. Okay, I'll just send you. I have It, the old It and the new It, like tattooed.
Yeah, just send me a picture and we'll put it up here.
Just last night we added Ghostface. I don't know if you can kind of see Ghostface, like a little.
A little bit. I've got 2 horror sleeves too. I got the black and white one and the color one. So
you have 2?
Yeah, I've got the black and white. I've got like old school Bela Lugosi.
Oh my god! Wait, is that London After Midnight? What's that guy's name?
Yep. It was Jack the Ripper. The actor was Lon Chaney.
Lon Chaney, that's right.
Yeah, Vampira. I got my favorite, Freddy Krueger over here. Chucky. I don't know if you could see.
We have so much to talk about.
I know,
I almost had Freddy last night, but we got into a debate about how PC it is to have Freddy tattooed on you. I was like, don't get me started.
So yeah, again, thank you so much for being on the show. That was a great chat. You gave me a lot more time than I expected, so I appreciate that. It's great. No. We can make 2-part episodes. This is what we do here. This is fantastic. We got into some fun shit. We got into some real shit. It's what we're here trying to do and entertain people with.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I was so stoked and so honored to be invited. Thank you.
Of course. Well, thank you. And everyone go check out New Year's Day on social media, NYD Rock on Instagram. Is that other ones? You can hear Frankie in the background. He's excited about it too. So New Year's Day Rock, NYD Rock. On
can he send us out? Can he do the goodbyes?
Does he do the goodbyes? He can sometimes.
Goodbyes?
Hey, Frankie, can you say bye? You want to come up here and say bye? You want to come up here and say goodbye? Up here, where I'm doing my show. Do you want to come up and say goodbye? Come on up.
Yeah. Here, I'll get mine.
Come on up and sit with me.
Okay, buddy.
Say hi to Miss Ashley. She can't see you. You got to get over here. I have it all framed up, dude.
No matter how cool you think you are or how big your band is, kids will humble you.
Oh, every time.
They don't care.
I got you.
They do not care. Hi. Oh, hi.
All right. He's not having it today.
No, that's okay. That's all my friends, all my girlfriends have kids about his age, and that's pretty much how they all react to me. So.
Oh, I don't think it had any. Yeah, well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't think it had anything to do with you. But he's seen himself on camera a couple of times. He gets a little shy now.
I don't know. I think it's me.
It's not. But anyway, back to the social plug. It's NYD Rock on Instagram. Is that the same for Twitter and Facebook, I imagine? And then
NYD Rock.
And then for you, it's just at Ash Costello. I know because I follow you now. So make sure you guys go follow Ash at New Year's Day. Check out all their music. She's. Do you have anything other? You're getting back into the studio, you said. So we got something to look forward to there down the line.
But actually, my other band, Haxons, one I mentioned earlier with Matt, Piggy D from Rob Zombie, we are actually having a lot of cool Halloween surprises coming out starting mid-August, September, including our very own Sunny and Cher style goth variety show. So
that very much intrigues me just by the description there. So I'll be looking forward to that.
Goth Soul Train.
That's so good. All right, well let's be on the look for that one, guys. And thanks again so much, Ash, for being on the show. We'll have to do this again very soon. And till next time, cheers.
Awesome, cheers.
All right, that'll wrap up this episode of Drinks with Johnny. Thank you so much for checking out the show. And thanks to Ashley for being on the show. Had a wonderful conversation, as you guys saw, and couldn't thank her enough. Make sure that if you're enjoying this as much as I am, hit that subscribe button right down here on the YouTube channel. Really helps us out to continue to get more guests for you each and every week. Also, go find us everywhere you podcast at Drinks with Johnny. I understand some of these interviews or chats, however you want to describe them, get a little long sometimes, and you can't sit in front of your phone or your computer for that long. For me, I like to listen to podcasts, throw in the headphones, walk around, hands-free, getting everything done that I need to around the house or working out, commute, whatever it may be. So make sure you're following us there as well and subscribing so you don't miss any of the episodes that we're coming out with each and every week. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Easy enough, Drinks with Johnny. Go to drinkswithjohnny.com for official merch, as well as you can sign up for our newsletter there that's written by yours truly. In that, you'll find exclusive things that are coming out. We're trying to make that an exclusive place for you to find out more content from Drinks with Johnny. So make sure you head over to drinkswithjohnny.com for that. And thanks again. I'm having so much fun doing this show for you all. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. And till next time, cheers.